Hi, Crownheart. I see you. Yes, you. And I'm so excited that you decided to wait up, not down, and keep your crown. Lady Charity here. I'm an advocate for women and young girls. I'm a minister, and I am a strategic life coach that helps women of vision, virtue, and value. The whole purpose of my channel is to be a representative of faith based feminine fulfillment. That is the purpose of this channel. And I do want to also share some of the testimonials that some of my clients have shared with me, allowed me to share. And I'm just going to go over a few of them. So, a little bit about me and my coaching experiences and what led me into coaching. So, I hired my first coach back in 2018. I think I was looking into coaching back a couple years prior to that. And I began coaching actually as a recruiter back in 2016. So, part of my role as a recruiter, I also did career coaching, and I really enjoyed that aspect of my job, even though I realized recruiting wasn't for me prior to returning to the educational consulting management. Prior to returning to that, I just made the decision to just go ahead and continue career coaching. And I did it with an organization called New Start Career Network, which was a organization that helps people facing age discrimination. I helped several women and men in that process, and I've continued to do so from 2016 up until up in basically up until the present. So I have experience in that. And in 2019, I made the decision to expand and include personal development coaching along with the career coaching that I was already doing. And I've been able to help people with that. So because the majority of the people I have helped are in career coaching, and because it is through the New Start program, I'm not able to deep dive too heavily into the identities of those people I was able to help. But what I can say is that 90% of the people that I worked with, they were placed in a job within a period of 3 to 6 months. They were all able to establish and expand their networks. They were able to work in jobs that more so aligned with their values and personal vision that they had for their lives. And they were able to be more confident in the interviewing process, as well as it related to negotiating, and other related things, just communicating in general with their fellow coworkers and colleagues. I would say with the personal coaching, the people that I've helped most are younger women. So the demographic is slightly different, but I'm still helping them with some of the same principles, even though career is very different than coaching someone, for instance, in spiritual growth or for dating preparedness or for meeting certain goals, wanting to move out or wanting to navigate between, wanting to get better at managing your energy as opposed to your time, wanting to grow in your ability to heal your wounded feminine. So those are the things that I have helped the ladies that I have helped in. And I just want to go through a few of the testimonials. I have plenty of testimonials, and I've actually been holding on to a recorded testimonial just because I wasn't sure if it necessarily highlighted everything that I was able to do with the client at the time. But one of my most recent clients, Ashli, she has been able to really up-level her life. She was in a very unique situation where she was staying with her parent, and she definitely wanted to kind of branch out on her own. And she was in a job that was rather toxic. So she did make the decision to leave that job. And then she was, in between jobs, but she did work um, a couple of positions that she took on. And I did let her know that, I basically believed that another opportunity would be coming up for her, and she would have the option of whether she wanted to extend her hours or move into a new opportunity. And of course, she was able to actually do both. So prior to her new position that she actually got last month, she was able to be offered more hours. And these are things that I was able to know for certain would happen because of my prophetic gift. And there were other things as well, but because they're personal in nature, I'm not going to go too deeply into that. But I will say that another area we really worked on was spiritual growth and really developing an abundance mindset. I think a lot of times people are not aware of the things that they're saying, and they're not careful with their words, and they don't know that that impacts their worth. And they also don't know that also impacts the impact that they have spiritually as well. So it's so important and imperative that you are connected spiritually. Like, we are spiritual beings having a flesh experience, and we need to keep that in mind. So the three things that Ashli and I worked on were personhood, purpose, and promise. Those were the three areas that we worked on, and that was with the Crown Your Life coaching package. And then I also worked with a young lady by the name of Shirley. Shirley was a successful business owner and consultant, and she was a young woman in her later 20s at the time that I spoke with her. She was having some, I would say her main thing was she was very powerful and successful in her job, very intelligent young lady. But I think her understanding of relationships and her expectations of men were not where they needed to be. And one of the things that we worked on was really working on those limiting beliefs and releasing them. I think she had the understanding that the importance that men brought, to a relationship was basically pretty limited to their ability to provide. And in speaking with me, I was able to give her a little more insight into how men actually go about making their choices and how women, we actually choose, but men initially do the selecting. And I think sometimes it can get confusing because what's being presented to us in the media is that it's the other way around, when that's really not the case. We just really want to be careful of not making any assumptions, ladies, about what our role is in terms of a relationship, because she really thought that she was entitled to certain privileges that extend to a relationship, even though she technically was not in a committed relationship. She was, she was in a relationship. I think she was steadily dating this guy, but they weren't actually in a committed relationship. And I tried to really convey to her that when a man is pursuing, he will be pretty direct in letting you know that that is what it is. Like, he will actually state, he will actually claim you, and he will state that, you're his girlfriend, you're his lady, you guys are together. He will make that very clear, because it'll be something that you don't have to really guess about. And his friends and family will know about you. You will be seen in public with him, and not just like, hanging out or Netflix and chill and all that. So we really want to do away with entanglements and situationships in 2021, and really move into, dating men who are actually intentional, who actually desire a relationship and marriage, if that's something that you are interested in, especially for women of faith who might be marriage minded. I would love to support women in that. And I like that I was able to help Shirley have a better understanding, to consider that maybe, because her relationship did not have the definition to it in terms of commitment, that her expectation could not be that, there's different understandings that people have about what actually is considered cheating, or whatever the case may be. Like, it kind of varies from person to person. So it was great to connect with her in that way and really help her to move from the boss energy into more of a state of being and embodying the essence of her feminine spirit. So not necessarily leading in her relationships in that way. And there's also another young lady I was able to help. Her name is Shanice, and she has a small daughter. She's dedicated to working, helping her family and friends, and she's a bit of a people pleaser. And I think one of the things that I really had to work on with her is just helping her understand her worth and her value, and that it's okay for her to put herself first, because in doing that, she's able to give from a place of overflow and not, operate from a place of emptiness where she's over giving to everyone and then there's nothing left for herself. She has, survived postpartum and a lot of heavy trauma in childhood that definitely impacted her understanding in some ways, but I feel like she's very wise, like much wiser than she probably gave herself credit for, in terms of understanding, the importance of taking care of herself. And I think she now understands the benefits of that. And even her daughter recognizes that difference. So I'm so proud of her. She's been able to move into a new place. And, she is with a relationship minded man. I'm very happy for her and what the future holds for her. So I'm praying that she is able to get married and, live that life that she wants to lead for her daughter. So I'm so happy to have worked with her. If you feel like you can relate to any of the stories that I shared with these women and with countless other women, then I would love for you to consider working with me as your strategic life coach, because one of the things that I really like is that I like helping people who have had similar concerns that like I kind of personally could relate to as well. Like I personally am a recovering people pleaser. I personally am someone who was really not aware of how to like effectively communicate with the opposite sex. It was something that just wasn't a natural skill set of mine. So I've worked very diligently at improving in that, working a job that really was beneath my potential, working in toxic workspaces that did not serve me, and learning what my true passion and purpose was, the importance of understanding my personhood, how that related to my purpose, and the promises that God had for my life. It's just really important to know all of these things and so much more. So I want to invite you to work with me. If you're interested in doing so, you can go to my website at ladycharity.com and definitely learn more about my current offerings. I believe I have Crown Your Life, Feminine Favor, which is more for the feminine embodiment component. And then I also have the Crown Your Career, which kind of coincides with the career coaching that I've previously done, as I mentioned earlier in the call. So you are more than welcome to communicate with me. I also do spiritual growth coaching as well. So just let me know, what are the areas that you would like to work on? What are your goals for 2021? We only have, after this week, 6 weeks left, and I would love to be able to support you in any area that you would like to move forward in. And this is prior to 2022. I am offering a special, so you really want to sign up with me before that time, because the prices are probably going to go up next year. So just a heads up. So you definitely want to get on board with me now when you have the opportunity to do so. Again, ladycharity.com. You can get all the information you need there. And if you need to reach out to me directly, you can utilize either the contact page, or you can send me an email at iamladycharity@gmail.com, so we can definitely set up a consultation. There is an investment that is required, but if you decide to move forward in the process, the investment will be applied to my fee for coaching. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. And again, reach out. Also, if you have prayer requests, you're welcome to send that to me as well. Thank you so much for your time. This is To Your Crown of Elevation. Take care. God bless.